Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena and another Florida Everblades pregame show, Kelly Cup Finals Edition. I'm Hannah Jo Groves alongside Jake Maurice. Jake, I didn't get to be here on Wednesday night, but I was listening to the radio the entire time and you did a great job calling the game. Let's get into some of this, okay? So you were in Kansas City for the first two games. Obviously, they did not go the way that we would have liked. How did you see the Blades make a difference as soon as they stepped on the ice on Wednesday's game?
Well, you get a big difference right away, right? Your home crowd is cheering you on. Big part of why we picked up that win Wednesday was the support from the fans. Seemed just getting back on home ice kind of reset them mentally. You're back in your own bed. As it mentioned, you're in front of your own crowd. Last change, you can match up the lines the way you want to. And Kansas City, they started a little bit slow. We're good in the second period, which has been their best throughout the playoffs so far, especially against Florida.
Yeah.
But then in the third, Florida down 1-0. Desperate. We needed that one, right?
Yeah.
You can't afford to go down 3-0 in the series.
Yes.
Came out with their best frame of the period, and there was just the will to win in front of the crowd helping along. Just really seems that getting back home, you can honestly see it on Sunday when the team got back home to Estero. Everyone was just like, okay, we're back home. This is where we've been great all playoffs. 7-0 record now on home ice in the postseason. They know that and got it going for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Need to keep it going, though, tonight.
Let's get into that first period one more time. So as I was listening to you on the radio, it felt like you were saying we had so many chances. The offensive energy was really strong in that first period, and yet we just couldn't get anything to go. So what was Kansas City's defense doing to consistently get in the Blades' way in that first period?
Well, Kansas City's defense moves really well. They're very good at clearing the net front, particularly rebounds. Jack LaFontaine, he popped out a few of them throughout the game, but for the most part, his defense was there to scoop them away and take them up the ice. They're very good at transitioning northward, moving from defense to offense. And in games 1 and 2, that gave the Blades fits, allowed Kansas City to set up chances on the rush that they were able to score on. Blades did a good job of mitigating that in that first period, came out with a solid start. Casey did turn it on a little bit late in the frame, got a couple of late chances, but for the most part, it was a strong opening 20 minutes for Florida, and I think they really needed that, right? Even though, yes, they didn't score, a positive opening 20 on home ice was very much a, okay, we're good. You know, if you're going down 2-0 or something like that after the first 20 minutes, then you're going to be in your head. So Florida was able to stay out of their minds and stay on the ice.
Yeah, and like you said, that second period was not the strongest for the Blades. And, of course, they did get scored on, and this building did fall a little bit quieter than the Blades are used to hearing it. So in that second period, though, besides letting that goal go in, what were the things that the Blades were lacking specifically in that second?
Well, I think that goal very quickly getting scored early, that hurts, right? Crowd gets deflated. Yeah. We're down 1-0 again, right? Which, you know, our team, we scored the most first goals in the ECHL this year, right? We're not used to this.
Right.
So there was a little bit of that. And then I think you have to give a lot of credit to Kansas City. They went into the locker room after the first, made some adjustments. Yeah. They weren't happy with the way their first period went, but they saw that little glimmer at the end of it where, okay, why don't we just do that instead of for 2 minutes, for 20? And they did. But the biggest thing was Florida's defense, in particular Cam Johnson, made sure that it stayed a one-goal game.
Yes.
In the same way, game felt way different being tied after one than if Casey had scored in the first period. Felt way different going into that locker room. Florida only down 1. You go back, of course, they were down a lot after the second period in games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But the difference even between a 1-goal disadvantage and if it had gotten to a 2-goal disadvantage,
so big.
Way different.
Yeah.
And the crowd and everything. We knew going into the third period, all we needed was 1.
Yeah.
And we were going to be good.
And then we did get that one in the third period. And then after that, in overtime, the win. Jake, I wasn't here. What did the building sound like when that overtime goal happened?
Oh, it erupted. Well, it erupted on the first Needham goal, too, right?
Yes.
Blades' penalty kill had an excellent performance on Wednesday. Big bounce back after a tougher outing in Game 2. You needed them to come back, right? Quick reset. They did. They were excellent. Casey's 4 power plays had nothing going, and then they score a shorthanded goal. Florida, you could see throughout the game, they noticed that there was a little bit of sloppiness in Casey's game on the power play. There were chances to maybe move up ice. Chow gets one. He puts it towards the net. LaFontaine kicks out a rebound, and this time it goes right off of Needham's skate and in, and then game's tied, right? Before the late stages, didn't need to pull the goalie or anything like that, right? So felt really good in the building after that. Like, it really felt from that point on that Florida was going to win this game.
Yes.
Even in the last 6 minutes, we didn't score in regulation, but we were all over them. Kansas City was basically just hanging on to try and get the game into overtime. And then in a major way, Florida didn't let the OT break, like the break before the overtime.
Slow them down,
give Kansas City a chance to get back into it. Florida outshooting KC 7-1 in 3 minutes of hockey in overtime, and then at the net front, big scramble. Needham knocks in another one, 2-goal game for him. His first career overtime winner in the playoffs, is a winner in the finals, and now we're right back in this series.
Needham is our hero of Wednesday night. So, Jake, let's get into the changes. You said even in the game, Kansas City was good at making adjustments, so I'm sure they're going to make adjustments coming into tonight. One of them is the goalie. Talk us through that.
Yeah, Kansas City, they are very much the opposite of us. We're riding with Cam Johnson all the way. They haven't run back-to-back goalies starts at all in the playoff run.
Not at all?
Not once. They go Jack LaFontaine and then Dylan Wells. And it's worked for them up to this point. So they went Jack LaFontaine on Wednesday. Have to imagine, not confirmed yet, but I'd have to imagine it's going to be Dylan Wells again tonight. And he played very well. He's actually had better numbers than LaFontaine throughout the totality of the playoffs. Played well in the game, too, on Tuesday. Did have a bit of a scare taking that hit late.
Right.
But got back to his feet, finished the game, and I mean, that's another thing for KC that you kind of reset in your minds. Not that LaFontaine played poorly at all on Wednesday, but okay, new goalie, want to play good in front of Wells. KC, they're going to remember what happened.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be motivated to play for him because of that.
Yeah.
And also, they're just going to be a motivated team in general because they know they let slip a big chance to really put a stranglehold over Florida on this series slip away.
Yeah.
So this game going to be very telling as to what the rest of this series looks like.
Side question for you on this. What is your philosophy on switching goalies per game?
I mean, if you have two that you trust, you can understand why.
Sure.
I mean, you look at Florida, there's obviously a huge, Cam Johnson is the ECHL goaltender of the year. You're going to ride or die with him.
Absolutely.
When you've got two goaltenders who are pretty equal, you can run them in a tandem more reliably.
Yeah.
I don't often see what Kansas City does where they switch back to back. It would usually be more so, okay, we'll ride LaFontaine and then he's had a rough start or two. Now we'll switch to Wells and give him a run, right? You see that with different teams. But if it's working for KC, it's gotten them here to the finals where they do still have the series lead, so they're going to stick with it.
Makes sense. Okay, so now back to tonight. So what are the other differences that you're really thinking that Kansas City is going to make? We have seen they are a worthy opponent, to say the least. They are a tough team.
They are the best team that Florida has played this season, and to be honest, it's not particularly close.
Yeah.
I don't know so much if they're going to make any lineup changes.
Okay.
I mean, the one guy they brought into their lineup, Casey Carew, he scores their goal and was very effective for their fourth line, so it's not like you're going to pull him back out.
For sure.
I think more so they're just going to really look at what they did in games 1 and 2, moving their feet, controlling the puck in the neutral zone, not getting sloppy with it. It almost seemed like the confidence that they had went a little overboard, passed it into arrogance, and then you get into trouble, right? You think, okay, we've skated through games 1 and 2 pretty handily. We're going to just slide on through to an easy finals win.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. Florida's a very good team, so now they've got to make adjustments, but they've got video, and they've got even the second period in game 3 to show, like, we can play on this ice and take control of the game.
Yeah.
They know, as I said, they let that one get away from them. They very much had a chance to take it in a shutout. There were times in the second and even a couple in the third where if they'd scored a goal to make it 2-0, I don't know if Florida would have come back from it, right? Casey's very strong defensively.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting them to just look at what they did well in game 1 and 2, moving the puck, finding space in the attacking zone, driving with intention, and try and get back to that style of game.
The task is going to be a handy one, Jake. So we want to even up the series tonight, though.
Yes.
And that is more than possible.
Book tickets back to Kansas City tonight.
Exactly. So give us the Direct Effect Marketing 3 keys of the game. What is it going to take to get this game 4 win?
Well, important, again, tonight, scoring the first goal. Unfortunately, that was one thing Florida could not do in game 3, and it could have very much cost them the game. For a long time, it looked like we might have been on our way to a very tough-to-handle 1-0 loss.
Yeah.
Not fun. We've seen it all series, all throughout the playoffs with both of these teams. When they score first, when they get the lead, they're so defensively strong, they can just take it. They can take it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And especially if you build on it and make it 1, then 2, then 3, you're on your way to a win.
And if you're in front of your home crowd.
Absolutely, right?
Yes.
And that's second key. Home crowd was huge for the Blades.
Yeah.
You know, if the home crowd had been nervous, had been quieted down by that goal and stayed that way, then I don't know if we would have come back. We were playing in front of a quiet building, but we did. The fans rallied just like the team, pushed hard, exploded when we scored the tying goal, and then went even further when we scored the OT winner. And now you're riding that momentum into the game tonight. Need to keep that going, and then finally driving the net front. Both of Florida's 2 goals coming within 5 feet of the crease, with the guys crashing the net, going for an ugly goal. It's not going to always be pretty. You can take a dirty win counts just the same
Exactly.
as a clean win,
Yeah.
right? It's a 2-1 series. Kansas City won both their games big. We won ours a little tight, but our win counts just the same as the wins they got. So
Exactly.
it's the finals, and especially coming off of those 2 games in Kansas City, we weren't looking for a perfect game to win Game 3. We were just looking for a win.
Yeah.
Now tonight, we're just looking for another win.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Well, and nothing good comes easy, right?
Nothing. Yeah.
So we just have to be ready for a hard battle, but we have you guys here, and we're excited to hear you. Next up, we've got warm-ups, Jake. And then it is Game 4 of the Kelly Cup Finals. Kansas City Mavericks versus your Florida Everblades. We'll see you there.